this book is a psychological mystery thriller. Like after the boom in the last decade of thrillers, after the release of Gone Girl, then The Girl on the Train, The Girl on the Window, and the recent release, The Silent Patient. Like I thought that an Indian writer should bring a psychological thriller too that is related to our society. Since these books that I talked about, they represented women of Western countries, I thought that my book should represent women of our country,
The
or
Indian culture,
trouble they are facing in this country, in this culture.
Welcome back to SYWK Podcast, where no topic is off limits. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for showing so much of love on my previous episode where Mr. David Weiss, an expert who explains the facts about the flat earth concept. If you haven't checked it out, please do. I will leave the link in the description. So coming back to this episode, since you all know, we will be celebrating Women's Day on the 8th of March. So that's why for this episode, I have an amazing author whose book is called If I Could Remember, which is an mind-blowing thriller to keep you hooked from start to end. He is the one and only Mr. Vedant Saxena. His book is dedicated to all the women out there. He has a clear message, and I will be reading a line from his book, which is, I dedicate this book to the struggle of all women. Their fight with the world and the war they wage inside them. To their tears during the night and a smile in the morning. To the change in society we so dearly want to bring for them. Be the change you want the world to witness. Stay tuned till the end to know everything about the book from the author itself. So without wasting any time, let's get started. And please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So hi Mr. Vedant Saxena, welcome to my podcast channel SYWK. It's a pleasure to get you on board and talk about your book If I Could Remember. So how are you, Mr. Vedant?
I'm fine. It's a pleasure is all mine. I'm really glad to be here talking with you.
Thank you so much. So before we start and before you tell us about your book, if you can introduce yourself to our listeners.
So I was a chef who wanted to become a writer, and now the writer is studying to be a psychologist.
Wow.
So my writing journey was, it was, what we call filmy start. A lot of people have watched Rockstar, and in that movie, there's a dialogue कि जब तक दिल नहीं टूटता तो feeling नहीं आती. So if I sum up my journey, it goes like this, like it's funny how artistic we become when our hearts are broken. So that's how it started. I got my heart broken by someone.
That, so I feel that creativity comes out only when your heart is broken. I feel
you can say it, taking my example, or the example of our generation. So what our generation is doing, we are kind of using our heartbreak to bring out something artistic, or something expressional to show our emotions, but it is not a norm, or it is not a rule that you must break your heart to be artistic or write a book. But it was the case with me, since I'm a poet, or my writing is kind of a lyrical narrative. I write about melancholia, I write about longing. So that's how it comes. It comes from the deep dark of my terrible broken heart. So that's how I became a writer.
That's a lovely journey. Now, if you can tell us something about your book.
In this book too, If I Could Remember, I chose a sensitive topic. The main theme is about rape victims and how society treat them. and see them in a negative way, and we force them into isolation, and instead of bringing them justice, we treat them as a victim who brought this on herself. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to change. I wanted people to acknowledge the pain of a rape victim, and like how as a society we fail them, like to show them empathy, instead of sympathy, show them empathy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
That's
this
an interesting topic to write a book on. Definitely,
Yeah.
I will be reading this book and giving you my review. So, for our listeners, if you can read a few lines or narrate something from your book, it will be really helpful.
Okay, so here it goes. I'm entering into a personal hell of my own will today. I am tired now. I want to end this. Even if I have to walk into hellfire tonight, I will. The question burns in my gut. Should I let him do it again and do nothing, or resist? I've been thinking for a long time, probably years. After every night when he leaves my bed, I think, what if? What if I had resisted him? I couldn't. For years, I grieved in regret. Now it's time to act. To gather all my scattered strength tonight. Tick tock, tick tock. The clock hung on the wall talks. I lie as still as possible, my ragged breath echoing in my ear. The moon has hidden behind in fear. The breeze barges in, howling from the open windows. From a distance comes the yelping of dogs in tandem, inching closer, and still closer, surrounding the house. Even they know it's an airy morning. Tick tock, the pendulum has struck 12. It's time he takes me to hell. He whispers, "You awake?" I keep silent. I hear the shuffle of feet. The door creaks open. He is here. His measured steps echo in my head. I have counted them every night. 13 steps that devil takes to reach my bed. I used to pray at each step, not today, not today. I had begged for mercy, but my guardian angels were sleeping. Today, I will say no prayer. 3 steps. I will not give in today. 7 steps. The trouser unbuttons, unzips. 10 steps. It falls on the floor. 11 steps. He has mounted the bed now. I squeal. I pretend to be in fear. Shh, he says. I lie in silence. The yelping of dogs is getting louder and louder. I can feel his warm breath on my toes, running to my knees, thighs, and staying between my legs. My navel flickers. You are awake, he says, savoring the moment. His face is now hovering over mine. I am his shadow. I am the plight. I keep my eyes closed. I can feel his weight on me. My left hand wanders. He grabs it. My right hand sneaks under the pillow, which he does not notice. I grab it firmly, the metal cold in my hand. I have to do it now. Now is the moment. It is time. His breath running on my neck. I force the knife into his neck. Splash. He falls on me, gargling. Blood rushes out of his neck like a fountain. I am drenched in the warm fluid, but it refuses to stop. The gargles stop. The breathing is bleak. It fades. He is gone now. The dogs turn silent, clouds scattered in dread. The moon is peeking from the window to take the notice of the annihilation I have caused. Tick tock, the pendulum struck 6 a.m. The departing moon whispers something to the rising sun, which in return barges into the window, bathing me in its light. He cared for me, now he is frightened of me. All the red of his existence shimmering on my body, death lying for hours on me. I push him aside, he falls to the floor. I have done it, but nothing feels like I imagined. Here, covered in someone's blood, lays a girl who thinks she destroyed the devil. but couldn't escape the labyrinth of hell. She will remain there on that bed, drenched in red, forever trapped. No longer will she feel the warm touch on her cold skin, taste on burnt taste buds, life without jitters, without fear, without hurt. That death would be better than this. Tick tock, tick tock. It's time to wake up, brush, wash, dress, and go to school again.
Wow. My God.
Yeah, so this was the end of prologue, and yeah.
This is amazing and shocking at the same time. The way you wrote was amazing, and so this is a small kid, I believe, right? She's going to school at the end.
So I'm not going to
Okay, so
tell you anything about the character, it's
Okay.
open to interpretation, what she is, and how old is she. But yeah,
Okay.
I can tell you this, that she's a school going kid. Yeah.
So let's keep it a little bit suspense, for people who are reading
Yeah.
also, that suspense should
Yeah,
be.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
now if someone wants to buy the book, where they can buy this book?
This book, if I could remember, is available on Amazon and Flipkart,
Okay.
and we are going to release it on Kindle on 8th March, that is Women's Day.
Thank you so much for the lovely conversation. Before we end, if you can give our listeners a small message.
Okay, I just want to say that please be kind, guys. Just be kind and smile at the strangers, acknowledge their pain, show empathy towards them. You do not know how many lives you are going to save by just being kind. And as they say, be kind, it looks gangsta. So yeah, just be a good gangster, be a badass gangster, and just be kind.
Well, thank you all for listening, and see you guys next week with another amazing guest and a different topic. Since you all know, SYWK Podcast has only one rule, and that is no topic is off limits. So thanks once again and peace out.